We are currently setting up a purely defensive, purely support mission, whose purpose is to allow, as soon as possible, after the most intense phase of the conflict, the escort of container ships and tankers to gradually reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
We will never allow a single litre of oil to pass through the Strait of Hormuz for the benefit of the United States, the Zionists or their partners. Any vessel whose ship or oil cargo belongs to the United States, the Zionist regime or their hostile partners will be considered a legitimate target.
Today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that intersects with my gradient line. I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
On Wednesday, one French soldier was killed and 6 others were wounded after an Iran-made drone attack in northern Iraq. And President Emmanuel Macron said that it was simply unacceptable and unjustified. And this comes as France has deployed about a dozen naval vessels, including its aircraft carrier strike group, to the Mediterranean, to the Red Sea, and potentially the Strait of Hormuz, as part of a defensive support to the allies threatened by the conflict in West Asia.
The group that claims responsibility for sending this drone against this French base, which is in the Kurdish, Iraqi Kurdish part of Iraq, Kurdistan, basically said that the reason that they struck is because France has sent an aircraft carrier to the region, the Charles de Gaulle, the one I was just referring to, the one that Emmanuel Macron visited the troops on just a few days ago and addressed them. So he could say as much as he wants it's there defensively. It's not taking part in offensive operations alongside the U.S. and Israel. They're purely there to protect their own troops, their own allies in the region from the missiles and the drones that are incoming from Iran. But like I said, from Iran's standpoint, that's just words. It's just rhetoric. You can't be there by Iran's definition in a purely defensive posture. What we're really saying is that willy-nilly, Emmanuel Macron, France, a lot of other European countries now potentially find themselves, and there's no other term I could use, actually, but dragged into this conflict against their will, very much against their will. They never wanted this war, and yet here they are. And what I mean by here they are now very much a